Hello, my name is Natasha. I'm a work psychologist and I'm also the president-elect for SIOPSA, the Society for Industrial and Organizational Psychology in South Africa. Work psychology is an applied psychology where we look at human behavior in the context of work. SIOPSA is a member-based organization and we provide a sense of community for work psychologists in South Africa. During February, SIOPSA promotes the SIOPSA Care promotion and campaign, and as we're closing off the month of love, we want to share with you a story that has truly captured our imagination at SIOPSA. Nontu Mgabhi, a work psychologist, a general manager in HR and external relations at Richards Bay Coal Terminal, an ultra-marathon runner who has completed 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents, and probably more important, somebody that has a heart for young people and young people in South Africa. So it is our privilege today to share this interview and share this space with Nontu.
I'm seeing them excited, they're shouting, they're outside. I met Skipping Kunzi Primary School in 2018 when I was running Capital 100 Miler, which was partnering with Southern Lodestar Foundation. When they invited me to go inspire kids through sport, I realized the needs of the school. So we selected 20 very bright, smart, young girls who have shown great leadership. They're writing down, making notes, they're so eager to learn. Genius is equally distributed, but opportunities aren't. So today they've got to do a number of activities that they've never done and know that the sky is the limit. The future is in collaboration. No one has ever achieved great excellence doing it alone. It's about all of us just making that little difference, one change at a time, and guess what? The world will be a better place.
Nontu, 7 marathons, 7 days, 7 continents. I can't get my head around that. How do you feel, girl?
Yeah, I would say I'm recovering. I'm still resting from the 7 marathons. Yes, I must say, actually, I also feel like, wow, what a feat to cover. I'm grateful I did it.
Are you still exhausted?
Not so much, because I need to obviously continue training for what's next, possibly 2 oceans and then Comrades.
Yeah, I think if you're running at that level anyway, you probably don't even know the idea of being tired. You probably don't get tired. You know?
Actually, like a day after, I could barely walk. I could really barely walk.
I can't get my head around it. So Nontu, I won't say I'm unfamiliar to, I just call it grit. You know, it's just, there's something different to put your head and your heart and your body focused on something to achieve something like that. I don't think I'm unfamiliar to it, but I definitely I can't get my head around. I mean, I barely struggle to do half a marathon once a year. How do you do it? Just talk about how you mentally and physically do something like that.
I think it's just the internal drive. Really, I love adventure. I love going out there and challenge myself and push my limits. Like when I first saw this one, I looked at it and said, what? 7 marathons, 7 continents, 7 days. But there was something in it that was like Nontu personified. honestly, Natasha, on that I remember it was around about 7 p.m. I read about this and I said, I want to do this.
I know that feeling. I know that. So you made up your mind that day and you started prepping.
I started prepping. I made up my mind. Initially, I was quite in doubt, and it so happened it was a weekend. And on Monday, my boss was going around greeting everyone, and she asked me, how was your weekend? And I told him about this, and he was so positive, and he gave me the courage to do it.
So what does it take? Tell us a little bit, just physically, the logistics around it. Is this a formal race or is it a customized thing? I've never actually heard about this until you've done it. So you taught us something new.
Yes, they actually set up a race. So all the 7 continents, they set up a race for you. So we've got 168 hours to finish. That includes about 80 hours of flying, and includes the marathon itself. So we start in Antarctica. This year, however, because the weather was so bad in Antarctica, we started in Africa and then went to Antarctica, Australia, Asia, and then Europe, and went to South America and ended in North America. So they set up a race for us. So that's basically the schedule for the race.
Nontu, I could probably talk the whole day and tomorrow and Christmas with you about the physicality and because I love, even though I'm not an ultra runner, but I love running. I could sit all day watching comrade. I'm always there halfway. And even when I watch people do this, I get so worked up and excited. Never motivated to do it myself, but I definitely. So I can really talk more about that. What does it mean to you now, as Nontu?
To be quite honest with you, I think this was just an extension of Nontu. So I'm still like the old Nontu who loves adventure. And people do ask me, I mean, now you have made history and became the first female from Africa to run 7 marathons, 7 continents. To me, it's something that I believe many others could do it. I really feel privileged that I had the opportunity to do it because, truth be told, I had so much support around it. I did it because I got support. I mean, others could have done it and even maybe done a better job. So I really feel privileged to have done it.
The humility, the humility we have here. So I want to go down that. We are aware, and we saw the clip as well. Yes, you did it because it's Nontu. It's who you are. You love adventure. You love a challenge. You are very physical. You're a good runner. But you also did it more for something more than that. Tell us a little bit about the cause.
Oh, yes. The big drive around this is really the cause. In 2018, when I ran 100 miler, I got to meet a school in Tuba, a primary school called Kipingunzi Primary School. And I saw the dire conditions they're learning under. I mean, there's about 110 learners in one classroom. There's no floor, just pothole after pothole. Window panes are shattered. I saw the school in 2018 and saw it and forgot about it. I mean, there are many other schools and people who I need, isn't it? And so when I saw this race, I thought, I cannot do this just for me. I have to do it for a cause, for something bigger and beyond Nontu. That's how I then decided I'm going to run this race to raise funds to build that school.
Yeah, I get shivers because it, as a spiritual person, it resonates so much to me. Just that heart and there's actually a verse in the Bible that talks about running the good race. And you physically ran the good race. Why is it important? I mean, we can all throw money at schools. As you say, unfortunately, there are so many, and we can look back and say, am I even making a difference? So why is it important for you, even if it's just one school at this point?
Because I honestly believe that if all of us were to do just one thing, be it one thing a month or one thing a year, you know what? The world which we all dream about, we will actually achieve it. So I honestly believe that if whatever, with what you have, so I have the legs, I have the love for running, that's what I have, I can use it to change someone's life, why not?
And we take it for granted.
Absolutely.
We take our health, we take everything for granted. That is so inspirational. Now I'm very proud to, I have a strong identity of being a work psychologist. It's part of my core, it's my vocation in life. And you are a work psychologist as well, and I think that's what makes us so proud of you.
Thank you.
Double proud at SIOPSA. Your vocation as an organizational psychologist, you went through training, but it's also we ascribe to a certain set of values and ethics. How do you think being a work psychologist and what you've experienced in life has prepared you or formed you for this moment in your life?
Interesting you've asked that question, because I reflected a lot around when I met the school and the children, because in particular it's the children. Yes, the infrastructure is bad, but what touched me, what moved me is the people, the children. That's what moved me. And really, I looked at them, and the first thought I had, Natasha, was, you know, genius is truly equally distributed. I mean, we call it intelligence, but opportunities are not. So I looked at them in context, and I said, wow, they are learning under these conditions, but they are expected to compete on an equal footing with someone who went to, you can name it. I mean, I can think of a high school like Michael House, Hilton, you name it. So I looked at them and I said, I saw so much potential. And I think maybe it's the work psychologist in me. I saw so much potential, and all I thought to myself is, if they can have opportunities or a better infrastructure. And I think that's also what we carry with ourselves wherever we go, is to, how can I be of help? How can I enable someone to achieve their full potential?
Yeah. And what's also important, I think, for me is that the young girls, I saw a video clip and you were going with a few of the girls on some trip up to St. Lucia, and the love they have and how they just resonate with you. And we do also live in a world where identity is important and where role models are important. Absolutely. And people need to tell their stories. And for you, living through that, you didn't necessarily come from a Michael House, or you came from the same environment, and you have overcome all the boundaries. I remember many years back I had the conversation with you. I think about an opportunity to go study in Canada, and you gave that up because you needed to take care of your family.
Absolutely, yes.
And I remember that was such a touching moment for me, as I reflected the type of sacrifices we have to make.
Absolutely.
But look at where you are today. Look at all the other opportunities.
Thank you so much. And you're reminding me of that. You're going to make me cry. Because, you know, it's funny you've touched on that. Because really, when I looked at those children, I saw myself in them. And I was like, whoa. Because I also went through, unfortunately, the same system, you know, where really school infrastructure is like, what? And you continue, you come to school, but you don't have a big dream, really, you know, because there's no opportunity to dream. Hence the program around Go Beyond for a Girl Child, where I take a girl child, I give them the opportunities I wish I had. I mean, I do a little bit, you know, obviously with limited resources.
But it's admirable, and as I said, I really appreciate, like you said, one starfish at a time. We do not have to have grand visions and big schemes. Sometimes just taking that first step can open doors. And talking about opening doors, we also are encouraged by your story and by your cause. And if there are people that would be interested to find out more about this cause and get involved, you're more than welcome to contact. We will put the contact details there as well. Now, Nontu, I mean, we have spent a lot of time speaking about the running event because there were 7 marathons, 7 days, 7 I can't even travel 7 continents in 7 days. Never mind stop and run a marathon on arrival. But so we've spoken that. But you're also a scholar. I mean, you're busy with your PhD. So you're a smart cookie. You're a general manager. So you're a business leader. You're shaping the guys in it's not mining, but it's in that resources space. You're whooping the guys in action there. You do good work, and you're really, I mean, you're a work psychologist in South Africa that we're proud of you, and we encourage that you are part of us and part of our community. We're a small community, but I do believe we can make so much difference in this world. Maybe just as a last message, is there something, so the video would be on YouTube and a broad audience will have access to it, but is there something specific you would like to share with our community of people, practitioners out there in the world of work?
Thanks, Natasha. I think our profession is, more than anything else, is about serving. So I've got really two messages, and this applies to the profession but also in our personal space. I've come to realize that there are two things in life that you will never regret. That is, one, being kind. You will never look back and say, I was more kind than I should have, you know? And you will always appreciate being kind. So I always say, when you are not sure what to do, be kind. The second one is being of service. Being of service truly satisfies the soul. When you serve, when you give whether your time, whatever you have that you can give, you realize that it's actually similar to a hug or a kiss. You get something back. So if there are two things that one can take away, is kindness and the spirit of serving.
Thank you so much. That is such a high. I don't even want to ask anything more or say anything, because I think we'll leave it at that. Nontu, thank you very much for your time. I know you're a very busy lady. So thank you for your time, making the time for us today. And as we end of the month of love, remember SIOPSA cares, and we look forward. Next month, it's all about trends. And one of the big trends was the budget speed this week. So more about that in our next series. Thank you very much.